Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Legend of Korra episode 11 video. Like Mike and Brian said, shit just got real. In case you did not know, next week is going to be a two-part finale. Episode 12 and episode 13 will post at the same time. Episode 12 is called The Day of the Colossus, and episode 13, the finale, is called The Last Stand. New round of the giveaway starts right now. I'm giving away another copy of the Book 3 DVD. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and leave a comment on this video. Careful for spoilers if you haven't seen the episode yet, but starting with top 5 moments. Number 5, Julie returns to Varric. I like the implication that now Julie is going to be more of a partner to him. Probably a bit of a sexual partner too eventually. I mean, it seems like that's the direction they're going, as socially retarded as Varric seems. We also got an awesome shot of that hummingbird factory, even though most of them seem like they got destroyed. I think a few of them will survive, and they'll be able to use them in the finale. I'm really hoping that Asami and Varric get to pilot one by themselves. That'd be so funny to see them stuck in one together. Or at least Varric and Julie. That actually seems more natural. It'd be like the platypus bear all over again. I wonder if they'd fart money out of that too. That was one of my favorite Varric-Julie moments from Book 2. A lot of things about Book 2 people did not like, but I totally loved the farting platypus bear. I'm also really hoping that Julie helps Varric build a bigger version of the EMP weapon, because right now that's the only way, unless they have like a bunch of metal benders that can metal bend that giant mech. Number 4, the big montage as the United Forces roll out. I felt like I heard a collective cheer from Tumblr when Prince Iroh showed up. I know everyone was asking when he was coming back. Dante Basco hasn't been on the series in a while, but the first time we heard him and recognized him as the original Zuko, it was just so much fun. So anytime he shows up, it's really cool. That should also be a cue to listen for other original Avatar voices for characters in the finale. Even if the original characters don't show up, you know, like old Toph, old Katara, old Zuko, just listen for the voices from the original actors, maybe in other characters. It was an amazing visual sequence, just showing everyone vacating the premises, the fleet moving into position. Kuvira pretty much took most of them out whenever she fired the laser the first time. I don't think she destroyed all their forces, she just destroyed a couple of the ships in the bay. And if you wonder why General Iroh was not on one of those ships, he's the commander of the United Republic forces, so he's like the general of the entire army. So he moved to that tent on land because they were planning on meeting her on the battlefield. And even though she has that giant mech, she still has a shitload of tanks and regular size mechs. As of the end of the episode, they have surrendered, but they do have some forces left. Like the United Republic forces aren't completely decimated. Number 3, Korra takes the Airbenders to capture Baatar Jr. Airbender Mission Impossible. This is so much fun. I love the infiltration, Korra with just those hand movements. I wish we had more of that. I wish we had more time. I thought it was so funny that Korra said Milo couldn't go because his farts were a liability. Fart bending, not an asset to Cloak and Dagger operations. Before this, I never thought of him as an uncontrollable farter. Usually he just farts on cue to gross people out. I think my favorite fart bending moment from the season so far though is when they go to the swamp to find Korra and he tries to fart bend the spirit vine. Of all the new substyles introduced during Legend of Korra, during the series just in general, I would say fart bending, probably one of the best. I just picture Milo in 40 years with another picture at that fish vendor next to Aang, making a giant fart sound, levitating off the ground. It would be perfect next to all the Avatar pictures. Number 2, the first reveal of the Mechagodzilla Kuvira. So many awesome things going on in this scene. First off, I just thought Godzilla right off the bat, so nice homage to kaiju films. Mechs are a huge thing in anime, but they kind of already did mechs. This is just supersized mechs, so you can think Neon Genesis if you want to, although Kuvira is not bonded to the mech. That is a pretty interesting idea though. There's so much good mech anime out there. It was only a matter of time before Korra did their version of it. I can just hear everyone in the back of their mind just going, let them fight. And no, I don't think it'll be as simple as Korra going into giant spirit form and smashing the mech. She did go into the Avatar state when they were interrogating Baatar Jr., but she immediately went out. Empty threat. It makes me feel like they're saying she's not going to go into the Avatar state to crush that giant mech. Although there's no way she's not going to go into the Avatar state for some reason. I just don't think it's going to be to kill Kuvira. Although that option is kind of on the table now, especially Baatar Jr. now. It seems like he's realized that Kuvira has betrayed him. And my number 1 WTF moment, of course, Kuvira fires the laser on Baatar Jr. and Korra. It was so heartbreaking. Baatar Jr., you could just see the life drain out of his eyes. It seems like there's nothing that Kuvira would not do to accomplish her goal now. They really do want to paint her as the big bad. For a certain period, they wanted you to be a little confused as to whether or not her intentions were noble, what she was trying to do, what her ultimate goal was. Now we know she's just going to step on everyone she can until she gets what she wants. I like that quote she had earlier this season, I always get what I want. This has really been a slippery slope for her. The only thing that I really want that we haven't got yet is an explanation for why she's so hardcore. We got the scene where she broke from Su Yin, where she said, I'm going to fix things, but why does she feel so strongly about that? That's the question. So if there was something super tragic that we don't know about yet, it happened when she was a very little kid. It seems like they want us to not focus on that, like they just want us to see what's going on right here, not to overanalyze her backstory too much. Maybe Mike and Bryant just want us to see her as this immovable object. I did think it was interesting that she sighed a little bit before she fired the laser. I do think she loves Botard Jr., but she wants to accomplish her goal more. So she wasn't lying when she said she wanted to marry him. It's just, she feels like this is the only way to accomplish her goal. She's supposed to be a tragic villain, so she's not outright evil. Like, she wasn't playing him for the fool the whole time. Let me know though, what was your favorite moment from the episode? And do you think that Kuvira was lying about Botard Jr. the whole time? Or do you think that she really does love him? Just some really important things to think about as we head into the two-part finale. A couple of those hummingbird mechs probably survived. If anyone's gonna fly them, I would expect it to be Julie and Varric. Asami might get one too. I don't know who would pilot with her. But there are two fights that are going to be happening. There'll be the fight on the ground, and there'll be the fight with the giant mech. So Team Korra is going to split up for a little bit, like the original Team Korra and the younger members. I'm just thinking of Team Korra as like all the main characters. It really is Kuvira versus everyone else. So Team Korra is now like everyone who is not with Kuvira. The title of the next episode, Day of the Colossus, implies that the giant mech is just going to cause a lot more trouble. The last stand is obviously going to be Team Korra's Hail Mary pass. There have been a lot of theories about lion turtles, Korra reconnecting with past avatars. I've even heard a theory that Air Temple Island has its own set of statues of the past avatars, and they'll come to life and help out too. This has felt like a very personal season, so I actually think when it all goes down in the final moments, it'll just be Korra and Kuvira. There won't be anyone else around. That's kind of the way they ended things with the original Avatar series. I don't think that Aang and Ozai had quite the personal relationship that Korra and Kuvira have. They didn't have quite the same history. But I like the idea that the Beifong family drama has replaced Zuko's family drama. It's like you have a family at war, you have a nation at war. Although I think that Botard Jr. is going to come back. I think this big moment with the laser that Kuvira firing on him, I think that turned the tide. The only other option is for him to die with Kuvira. He might actually try to do that. And the other really big thing that we need to consider is what's going to happen with the spirit vines in Republic City. There were some very prominent shots of them covering the city. They haven't done anything thus far. The spirits have remained absent. I feel like the vines are going to be very important to this final battle. Whether Korra uses them, or the spirits do something, or the vines animate if they're part of a lion turtle. Some of those are long shots, some of them are a little more realistic. I think that Korra will bend the vines to help out. But let me know, what are all your big predictions? What would you like to see in the finale? I know everyone wants to see the original Team Avatar members come back. Just overall in general, I gave the episode a solid A. It was a great tee up for what's going to be a totally crazy finale. It's going to be like a non-stop cry fest. Now remember, we haven't hit the peak yet, so it's going to continue to crescendo, like the action will continue to get crazier to the midway point. The climax will come when Korra just has some giant heroic act. Animation, definitely top notch. Mike and Brian spent some extra time doing reshoots with the actors. I'll be interested to see which scenes they did or if they changed scenes after the fact. We might have to wait till the DVD comes out in March to find out on their commentary. Hopefully they'll be posting on social media. They're pretty good about posting to Tumblr about little bits behind the scenes and stuff after episodes are released. And I'm sure after next week's episode, they'll be doing a bunch of Q&As. Just to talk about all the characters right now, I am actually really happy with where everyone's at. Kai even showed up. I know everyone was asking, where the hell is Kai? When is he coming back? I was surprised to hear that so many of you guys were fans of his. I know Mike and Brian said that this isn't going to be like a big bending contest between Korra and Kuvira, like the final battle, but there will be a battle. It'll just be stop and start. Korra's just not going to let everyone die in this giant bloodbath. Quick side note, if you're wondering how she built that mech, that's what I think she did with the domes that she disassembled at Zaofu. Remember, the first thing she said when she rolled in was disassemble the domes, and then we never found out why. I think this is why. So, very exciting finale. I don't think it's going to be as simple as a David and Goliath situation with Korra and the giant mech, but whatever ends up happening, I'm sure we'll all cry a lot, and it'll be a lot of fun. Q&A tomorrow, so extra links up here if you're on your mobile phone or your tablet. Actually, I think it's over here now. They keep changing where the links are. It's the same as the links right here. So, click here for the Q&A video. I'll post that tomorrow, and click here for all my other Korra videos. Thank you so much for watching. So that's all. High five. I will see you guys tomorrow.